Hello YouTube, Fluid Bricks here, and finally we have it, my mock turning two Tie Interceptors into the Andor Tie Avenger. The Tie Interceptor has been on sale recently, so this mock will cost about £340, but I am working on getting a parts list out so you can just buy one and order the difference. Here's a few angles of the ships next to each other. Normally when I create a mock, people ask how they compare to the original set in size. As you can see here, the Tie Avenger model is a little bit longer than the Interceptor, but I'd say the trade-off for how good it looks is definitely worth it. Moving to the back of the models, the Interceptor has an engine, whereas the Avenger has a door, which I'll be getting onto shortly. And then for those of you who before building the model want to know how well it'll sit on a shelf or a certain spot, here's some measurements. So for the Interceptor model, I measured around 33 centimeters for the width. And then the Avenger came in around 38 centimeters. That's including the gun on the side, which does add about 2 centimeters. Now, although the Avenger is on a custom stand, they both do measure around 31 centimeters in height. And then the length of the Interceptor comes in at about 37, whereas the Tie Avenger comes in at about 65. I thought I'd weigh the two sets just out of curiosity, just to see what kind of piece count was used, and I will show you the spare pieces in a second. But this is first the Tie Interceptor. As you can see, coming in at 1.5 kg, 1,584. And then the weight of the Avenger. And as you can see, it's not double, it's only 766 grams more than the Interceptor. So it's not the weight of two Interceptors, it's pretty much bang on the weight of 1.5 Interceptors. And here are the spare parts that are left over after you complete the mock. So because of the structure on the inside, I did have to make these removable rather than fold out like they do in the series. But these panels go on very easy, so you can simply remove them, take off the extra guns, and put the panel back on. And then of course you can repeat the exact same process to the other side. And then the underneath of the Avenger features a removable, what I've seen some people call the belly Death Star cannon. And then just to get a better idea of what these look like, so you've got the belly Death Star cannon, and then these. And then of course the two Star Wars versions of the Gatling gun. One thing I saw people mention about the Tie Interceptor was that the stand angle wasn't ideal. So the brackets for my stand I've put on the outside, and as you can see here, you can tilt the stand forward and backwards and then just push the Technic pins in to lock it at the desired angle. So just a small little view around the model, and then the two main things that were important to me when designing this model was, well, other than the looks, is swooshability. I wanted people to be able to pick this model up without fear of it breaking. So as you can see here, you can completely remove the model from its stand and swoosh it around if you want to. And that leads into the main thing I focused on, was the ability for it to land. So as you can see here, the model does fully support itself on those 4 bits on the wings, and you could pretty much pick it up from anywhere underneath and place it back down without issue. The first time we see this ship, it's in a hangar, landed on its wings, and then the access door around the back is open, and I wanted people to be able to recreate that for display. And of course, there's no point having a door without a full interior to walk into. So as mentioned, this model does feature a full interior featuring the pilot seat up front, and then at the back there is 2 angled seats. And then for anybody who owned the 2007 MTT, this might bring back some memories, but it has an access hatch on the top to view the interior. So here's the pilot seat I was on about, and then you can sort of see the two seats at the back. And then you can see here the two diagonal seats do fold down and they lock themselves into position, just like in the series. Now, the back of this model is quite modular, so you can start, if you do want to see the interior better, you can pull off the access hatch. These sort of triangular bits at the back come off easy, along with these two hatches that fold up. And then we can remove more of the wedges from the back, and this kind of gives you a full interior view. Here's a better look at that. As you can see, it's quite cramped, but I managed to fit in the full interior and still make the exterior look correct as well. Speaking of the exterior, here's a few different shots of it and some of the details, such as between the wings. I did sort of make this up, but it is reminiscent of what's on the model. It was quite hard to do, and I also built this before any reference images or other models were available. And then we move to the front. I think this was captured well with the shaping, the outline of the sort of light grey bit around the cockpit, and then obviously the wings being nice and thin. Moving out to the wing details, and then towards the front I did remember to add all four of these cannons. The only thing I couldn't do is on the inside of the wings there's sort of a arrangement of missiles which I was unable to recreate. On the outside of the left wing there's this dual massive cannon that is featured on the ship, but only on one side. Here's a better view of the stand. There is a plaque that's been designed, one of my friends has designed. I just need to figure out how to sort of distribute that and get it printed. And then finishing off, here's a full 360 of the model. So I did want to thank Hoppy's Creations for providing me his model as reference images, and Sorex as well, who's been working on the plaque. So yeah, don't forget to check both of them out. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this model. Let me know what you think, and thank you for watching.